is the key to happiness in life. I think a lot of the Oriental philosophies talk about dharma, talk about purpose. And I think that when you find, it might not be the job that you've been doing, for a few years, because a lot of times what happens is we go from early school, high school, maybe college, maybe a job, and everything happens so fast that you never have a moment to stop and think, what am I passionate about? What do I love to do? What do I want to accomplish? What makes me whole? What makes me be in the mode of to be versus in the mode of to have? And so this quote is, everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. So that's not the case for anyone, we believe. I think everyone has innate talent that they need to find and develop and share that gift with the world. So I wanted to ask who would, so moving now to the Congress part of the conference, I wanted to hear from our graduates. There's a way that you can signal to raise your hand virtually. There's like a button if you want to speak. So I wanted to ask whoever volunteers to maybe take 15 seconds to say who you are, your name, maybe what you studied, and then the most important thing that maybe we should know about you, okay? And then most importantly, if you're going to take the AIU pledge, how what you have done, what you're doing, or what you plan to do can contribute to the 2030 UNESCO goals. So it can be something that you've done, something that you're doing, or something that you commit to do. And so the purpose of today's meeting is to share those experiences, get to know each other a little bit, but most importantly, to take the AIU pledge and try to find synergies in what we're doing personally, professionally, towards contributing to these goals. Because obviously governments cannot accomplish this, NGOs, private sector cannot accomplish this. This is something that needs to be the responsibility of each and every one of us to help make these goals attainable.
Oday Abdullah.
Ms. Abdullah, welcome. Thank you for being the guinea pig, the volunteer first.
Oday.
All right, I think we can go back to Abdullah. We can just check your microphone and we'll go back to you.
Brooks Gibbs.
Mr. Gibbs,
Hi guys,
welcome.
Brooks Gibbs. Thank you so much. I'm 40 years old. The last 20 years I've studied school psychology. I'm getting my school psychology degree on a master's level, and then also a sociology PhD doctorate level through AIU. And the last 20 years I've learned how to help kids build up their social and emotional competencies. And my sociology degree is going to help me focus on creating that school culture. Now that I know how to help a kid on the individual level, learn how to regulate his emotions and resolve his social problems, I want to see that scale nationally and globally. And so I guess that's goal number 16, peace and justice, strong institutions, as well as goal number 3, from Congress of the United Nations, which is good health and well-being. I think social competency and emotional competency is as important, if not more, than academic competency.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gibbs. And yeah, I think a lot of children haven't learned how to self-soothe. And there's a lot of studies. I mean, being a, relatively recent parent, I had to learn how to kind of show the kids to self-soothe. If not, they wake you up every 2 hours at night. But that applies not just to babies, it goes all the way through as they grow up, as you described. Thank you so much for sharing that, and congratulations. Let's see. Oh, I see Ellie Christiansberg raise her hand physically.
Okay.
1 second.
I just unmute my
okay.
microphone.
Welcome, Ellie. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. My name actually is Yael Yorimi Kirschenberg. It's just
Okay.
easier for people to say Ellie. I'm an American. I live in Florida, the state of Florida. And I was born in Israel. And when I came to the US, I was in my early 20s. I am a daughter of immigrants that came to the new founded state of Israel from Yemen. So I have mix of things in me. I grew up in Israel and even served 2 years in the mandatory army services. When I came to the US, I studied linguistics and earned my BA and master's degree in applied linguistics. I worked as a college adjunct professor for many years, and coming to AIU was a decision I made after learning about its philosophy and perception on education. The fact that education is a human right and should not cost so much money, there's no justification for that. So the time and curriculum flexibility, in my opinion, these are the tenets and basics of education. And in a very unique way, that is what AIU preaches for and practices. So regarding the 17 UNESCO 2030 goals, I took a pledge. I developed a major called Media Literacy Education for AIU, which is a new field of study. Media literacy education is also part of my dissertation and the part of the course that I built for AIU. It teaches skills for media consumers to enable them to critically understand, to evaluate, to analyze and create media. We know that media is owned by very few powerful bodies that control what goes on media, and many times they manipulate for material gain. They manipulate the information. And so we would like to give adults, and especially the older generation, the opportunity to be able to combat that and to be better civic participants and advocates of democracy.
Ellie, thank you so much for those words and for your contributions that you're doing and for your life trajectory. I think it's fantastic, and congratulations on this achievement as well. Talking about you mentioned the philosophy or the ethos of AIU to be student-centered, to be open curriculum, to be andragogic. I recently came across something very interesting, and I wanted you guys to participate. But since I know that, Brooke, you are in psychology, sociology, we might have to exclude you since you probably know the answer to this test. But if you don't, you can participate. Anyways, this is a famous experiment. I believe it's from the 1940s by Carl Drucker. It's the candle problem. And even though it's old, they've done new things with this experiment recently at the University of Economics, at the London University of Economics in the US and in Asia, that applies to children's education, it applies to management and business, and it applies to adult education. So let me start by asking each of you to solve this problem or riddle. And so in this experiment, they put several groups. One group received a monetary incentive. Hey, if you solve this problem first, you get $100 reward, which is substantial compensation for a couple minutes of work. And they had another group that were just asked to solve the problem, and another group that said, hey, we're measuring to see how fast this can be solved. And so first, let's try to solve it. The goal of this is to place the candle on the wall, light it, and don't let any wax drip on the table. So you have to put the candle on one of the walls that's over the table. Find a way to place the candle there, light it, and then prevent wax from dripping. So take a couple seconds to look at it. Think about what could be a solution. And if you have a solution, raise your hand. have a candle, a box of thumbtacks, and a box of matches. Felipe, anybody raise their hand virtually?
Not yet.
All right, Ellie. Ellie, you want to have a crack at it?
I will remove the top and we'll leave it as the same size of the whole candle, just to remove that top that is protruding.
Okay.
So this way it'll sit, and the dripping thing will stay within.
Oh, okay, okay. I like that. Okay, interesting solution. Good, 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 good. Okay. Anyone? Okay, I see Jose Mijet Garcia.
Hello.
Welcome, Jose.
Thank you very much. I'm from Mexico City. Just to give my background,
Welcome.
I study an MBA in AIU, and I'm a lawyer for a big company, an IT company. So I will pull out all the thumbtacks. I will place the box in the wall with the thumbtacks, and put the candle in the box, and then light it, and all the wax will drop in the box.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, without further ado, here comes the solution to the problem. And as Jose described, correct, that's the solution. Now, why do I bring this experiment up? Okay, the reason I bring it up is because when they did the experiment in two ways, the way that I just showed you, which was the thumbtacks in the box, but they also did the experiment with the thumbtacks out of the box as a starting point. What they discovered through rigorous testing with control groups is that the group that was compensated with money was the one that took the most time to find the solution, which was extremely surprising, because everything we do in our society for the past years, including from the industrial age in the past, was compensate people with the carrots and the sticks, with the bonuses, with the incentives, monetary or so on. And so that's how our whole kind of society is built on, management books and everything. I mean, any company, they have a lot of focus on that. What they found was that when you change the layout of the original experiment so that the tacks are out, then the group that was compensated was faster at getting the answer than the other two control groups. And the reason is because when you give someone a monetary incentive to do something, they really want to do it. The problem is that it narrows their focus. So it almost creates like tunnel vision. Like you're so focused on doing something, getting to the goal, getting to the deadline, getting to the bonus, that you develop this narrow focus. And what it does is that it saps or removes the human creativity. And that's why compensations, they said, worked in mechanical tasks. So in the second image, since the tacks are already out, it doesn't require as much higher level creativity to find the solution, because you see more objects. You see the candle, the tacks, and the box, and the matches separate. So you can easily go step 1, 2, 3, 4 and put it together. But in the first example, it's harder. It requires you to think that you got to remove the tacks and then use the box on its own. And so the conclusion of the experiment after rigorous testing in the 90s and 2000 was that people work best when they're given autonomy, when they have mastery of what they're doing, and when they have purpose. And so companies all around the world, once they realize this, have changed the way they do business. For example, Google lets its engineers and developers spend 20% of their time on pet projects because they're so much more productive. That 20% of time that they spend supposedly on pet projects generate half of product launches at Google. Facebook has a hackathon, and different kind of their passion and their purpose. So with tying this back to AIU and AIU's method of education, our goal in phase one and with the overall program is to give you purpose at the beginning. So instead of starting blindly to follow steps, we ask you, okay, what is your purpose in life? What is your dharma? What is your dream in life? What would you like to accomplish? And that's perhaps the hardest part of the program, I believe. A lot of students do not get past phase one. They say, well, what is this? I don't know how to do this. How is this going to happen? I don't understand. I don't like it. Where's my courses? And so I believe that AIU is so much more challenging to adults, because some of us for the very first time have now time to think about what is our passion, what is our purpose. And that's the idea of phase one, to challenge you to define those things. With that clear vision in mind, now we're ready to begin the AIU journey with that purpose, with that emotional connection to what you're going to be doing as a student, because that increases retention rates. So whatever you learn is relevant and meaningful. So anyways, let's continue with the Congress. Let's see, who would like to share something with us? Let me select someone.
Matthew.
Oh, Matthew? Okay.
Matthew Sailing.
Matthew, welcome.
Matthew, can you unmute your microphone?
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you
perfect.
so much. Thank you.
Matthew Saili, welcome.
Thank you so much. No, I just wanted to give a brief introduction of myself.
Oh, hold on. I think you muted again. There,
Sorry.
You're back.
Okay. Yes, I'm connected from Lusaka, Zambia, in Africa. Just to give you an idea, it's about six hours difference. So we are 6 p.m. already after 6 p.m.
Good evening.
6:30. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. So what I've appreciated much about AIU is the flexibility, and as you said, it was an andragogy program, and from the start, you are given the liberty to put in what you want to be done. Yes, and this is exactly what I did and worked through with my mentors, who were AIU-based mentors, and the program went on until I finished. The program I did is industrial engineering, majoring in mechanical engineering at master's level. Yes, and using this as a motivator, I've been able to overcome a lot of educational programs, and I've done a lot of educational programs on distance learning. Yes, and I just wanted to mention that my view of the goals is that I would like quality educational goals to be given to people through andragogy and not through the conventional school program, which adds pressure to people. And this pandemic has just added impotence to the importance of andragogy, because all the people can only work individually and not in a closed space in a university. So it has given us a latitude to be heard more on the importance of andragogy. And I would like to add to people that quality, there's a lot of quality in andragogy because you tailor it to the needs of the society and the community where you live. I also want to add that because you tailor it to the community and the society in which you live, it adds to your productivity, which is fulfilling the goal number 12. Yes. goal number 12. And briefly, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Matthew Saili, and congratulations. Yes, I agree with you 100%. I think ambassadors like yourself who have embraced distance learning, embraced andragogy, embraced the sustainability of it. I mean, this is really the whole foundation of AIU back 22 years ago. The idea was not to be one more of the 6,000 or so universities and colleges that existed at that time, but to really be an alternative system. And I think over the past 22 years, what has surprised me the most is that I believed back then that education would almost become free, like a human right, like we're talking about here in AIU. But instead, at least in the US and in many parts of the developed world, the cost of education has continued steadily climbing year after year, despite the advances of technology. Despite the ability to do massive online classes. I mean, honestly, today, whatever it is that you wish to learn, if you want to learn it, you can learn it yourself for free. You do not need a traditional university to show you how to do it. The democratization of knowledge is kind of the greatest gift that mankind has received so far from technology. And in the last 15 years, every bit of knowledge is available. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, one of the advantages of going to a university was that you had access to the library, to the research facilities, or to the composite of knowledge. But all that knowledge is now digital and virtualized and shared with the world, and everyone's sharing the knowledge that they have. I think that definitely it is a sustainable system of education, the andragogic system. And thank you very much for sharing that.
Anybody else?
Hi. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone.
Bridget Pracht. Pracht. Yes. Welcome. Thank you very much.
I'm 35 from Suriname. For those that don't know where that is in South America, right between French Guiana and Guyana and above Brazil. I'm a mom, 2 kids, and I ended up at AIU because I was looking for help because my son is autistic. So in Suriname, I thought we didn't have any occupational therapists. So I decided to, you know what, time to educate so I could be his help. About to go back on the puzzle.
Yes.
I thought about it, but I was like, the candle looks heavier than the box, so the box might fall. So yeah, so I didn't think that it would support it. So I was left dumbfounded, I guess.
I mean, yeah, if it's a cardboard box, it probably might not hold it. So yeah, nobody said if it was a tin box or what type of box it was. If it was a plastic box.
Yeah, so that was kind of how I was looking at it.
Bridget, I think you are a hero to is it your son or your daughter that you're helping?
My son.
Your son, you're an absolute hero to your son. Not only is that a challenging thing that you've taken it upon yourself to be the solution, be there for him, but with the pandemic, the institutions that typically give you a break or support you are not available. I mean, I don't know in Suriname if they had any shutdowns. A lot of the world.
Yes, we have lockdowns and no school, or maybe online school, but that is a huge adjustment.
Oh yeah, no, as a parent who also lived through recent online school, oh my goodness, I think I'm supposed to receive a teacher's salary for doing that.
So to go back on, I would like to give you kind of like a current state of Suriname, because I actually read the last national report for Suriname for UNESCO, and that was in 2013. To my knowledge, I find that we are still there. Didn't really change much. We are educational-wise lagging 40 years behind. our digital systems are still not up to date with regards to certain ministries. There's no special curriculum, education curriculum. So it's kind of like winging it, I feel. There's a limited amount of special education school publicly and privately. And basically that's more primary school. So after that is more vocational, which is unfair because if a child with special needs can learn, but just can't adapt to a classroom with 30 students, they should be offered the opportunity to study, but in a smaller classroom, right?
Sure.
With regards to occupational therapy, even, yes, I finished it, but I'm not quite satisfied with the awareness of the relationship between occupational therapy and children with special needs, in particular autism. Everywhere else that I have read articles, it seems to go hand in hand. It's unavoidable, right?
Yes.
But here,
I think this journey, Bridget, that you're taking, I think this is a journey that perhaps other moms in your country or in other countries are doing. And I think if you can be successful in navigating it through, which I think there is no option for you, you will be successful in navigating through it. I think if you then share that path, share that knowledge, either, I don't know, in a blog or in some type of some way that you share what you discover along the way, I think it can be a tool that other moms around the world can use and employ, because I think your journey of discovery is still ongoing and a work in progress.
It is. I believe that education starts with exposing children according to the norm that there are other kids, because they're going to have a future together. So it's best that they start educating them from real young. So basically it's about my concerns for quality education for neurotypicals, as well as children on the spectrum or special needs, as well as vocational career planning, because having a what's it called? I refuse, I hate that word, handicap. A special needs does not mean that you should, if you have a skill, that you should be paid less. So right. I want like equal rights, right? For not only gender, but also for like for everyone.
Right.
So I think road.
Yes, Bridget, continue on with that path. And I think, look, things have changed so much. Talent they discover, no matter what it is. It could be computers, it could be writing, it could be graphic design, it could be animation. There's so many things that they can discover to be their purpose in life, or to be their passion. They can then go ahead and share it with the world. There's platforms through the shared economy, such as Fiverr, Freelancer, Upwork, and many, many others, where no matter where the talent is located, people who are looking for that talent are not limited to local pools of talented persons. It's worldwide. So, we've worked with people in all parts of the world to do different things with AIU. And that's really the case. I mean, globalization is at everyone's computer terminal. You can participate in any project around the world just from your computer screen. So keep up the good work with that, and much success to you, Bridget. Congratulations. Do we have a virtual raised hand? Is Dr. Valcine with us? Let me see.
No.
Okay. Oh, I see someone raise their hand. I saw Dr. PNR Nam.
Fodai.
Doctor, or maybe, can you unmute, Doctor?
Yes. Fode Abdullah Sise.
Oh, yes. Fode Abdullah.
I'm Fode Abdullah Sise. I am
Welcome.
from, yes, Dr. Fode Abdoulaye Cissé. I am from Sierra Leone, West Africa, a very small country. I'm also working in a very remote part of the country in Kwenadugu district. I'm a nutritionist by profession, and I think my occupation is working towards goal 2, that is eliminating hunger. And
Yes.
as I'm speaking right now, I'm the pillar lead for the COVID-19 in the district response center. We are rapidly responding to people that are affected with COVID-19 by providing them with the nutrition, required nutrition when they are isolated or when they are put on quarantine. And we have just developed and also launched a program for the moderate acute malnourished and children, pregnant women, and lactating mothers, so that the effect of the COVID-19 will be cushioned. So I think I am also working towards goal 3, that is health and well-being. Because with good nutrition, when you are providing good nutrition, you will help to boost the immune system, and people will fight all type of illnesses as a result of good food. So we are working towards goal 2 and goal 3. I'm happy to be part of AIU family, and I'm so excited because I was given the opportunity to develop a curriculum that works towards the path of my dream as a nutritionist. I think this is what I would contribute for now.
Thank you so much, Fode Abdoulaye. I think obviously, I mean, these are basic needs. You know, Cissé, zero hunger, good health. I mean, just looking at even goal number 1, apparently half of the world's population lives on less than $2.50 per day. So that's, you know, all those things are great challenges, but everything we do, even if it might seem like it's small, it's not. If we can help a group of people or even a single person, we don't have to help with money or with anything grand. I mean, there's so many ways that we can help by leading by example, by setting the example, by being a mentor to someone. If you don't have the energy or the time, you can facilitate someone who does have the energy or the time or the talent that you lack. There's many ways to multiply your efforts, to help in your community, to volunteer. There's endless possibilities. So thank you so much for sharing that. And Dr. BD PNR Nam, I had asked you before. Let's see if we can enable Dr. BD PNR. You can unmute your
Dr.
mic.
Pinar, can you just please?
I can
perfect.
hear you. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a great opportunity. My first name is Balbina. Maybe we can stick to Balbina. That's easier. I really want to commend AIU, first of all, for this symposium, bringing us together during this very unprecedented times. I want to start by referring to the expression of the fish, because it brings me closer to what I pledge to contribute. Yes, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Why this is applying to me is I looked at goal 1 and the facilitator just touched on it, picking up from where my brother of Sierra Leone ended. my biggest, maybe to start off, my association with AIU started 4 years back. I first did my master's degree in business administration, which I followed up with my doctorate in business administration. And coming from a strong community background, I pledge to focus on goal 1, poverty and eradication thereof. As we know, Sustainable Development Goal 1 aims at eradicating poverty by 2030. Now we find ourselves in these unprecedented times. We know post-COVID will pose a much bigger challenge towards poverty and poverty eradication. In short, I started looking at all the efforts currently, the whole world is engaged in to eradicate poverty. Or just look at all the resources put in place, all the strategies, approaches, but still, as the facilitator mentioned, we are having these huge numbers of those living in extreme poverty. Will we be able to eradicate poverty by 2030? Well, I do have a solution. Poverty eradication can never be possible unless we change our mindsets. So my thesis basically focused on mind poverty as the root constraint to poverty eradication. Unless we can change the ways we are defining poverty, how we are approaching eradicating poverty, how as human beings we are dealing with each other, it will be difficult to eradicate poverty. AIU gave me the opportunity. As the facilitator mentioned, it was really a challenging but a rewarding exercise because I had to develop my own curriculum. With this, I could really focus on a field I am very much interested in, a field I'm having a passion for, poverty eradication. How can we contribute to make the lives of others better? I have started a very vigorous awareness raising program on mind poverty, what it entails. And I think as we are proceeding next year, I will also engage my members of this community, how best we could collaborate to look at ways how to eradicate poverty. Thank you very much, AIU. This was a great opportunity, really, and I feel proud to be part of the AIU family. I thank you. It seems like I'm not.
Okay, you can't. You're back now.
I appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you so much for sharing that. We heard everything except the last 4 seconds, thank you very much. Yeah, you were there. You were all there. Thank you very much. I see
Christina Doe.
Christina Doe.
Hello.
Hi, Christina.
Hello,
Welcome. Yes,
yeah, thank
perfectly.
you. Right.
Just one thing I wanted to ask, when you share your contribution, if it's possible, if you can, share with us how you plan to measure it so that you quantify it in some way, if a goal. If it's still a nascent goal or dream, that's fine. But if it's something that you want to share of how you will measure your contribution, you can include that if you want.
Right. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity once more. And I would like to say congratulations to everyone graduating in these times, because this is history we are actually making at AIU. This is the first, virtual graduation we're going to be having. And thanks for the symposium as it is right now. By the way, I'm Christina Doe, and I'm from Liberia, West Africa, but I currently live in South Korea. And right now, by time difference, I stay up to be on this line. It's about 1:53 a.m. in the morning.
Wow. Oh my God.
It's a big difference, but I'm happy. I have no sleep. I'm not sleepy because I'm excited. My experience at AIU was very, very exciting all the way through. I know there were bumps along the way, but I overcame those bumps, and I'm happy that I'm here, at this point. In a way, what I do is that I'm a teacher. Precisely an early child educator. I've been teaching for the past 10 years in Korea as an ESL teacher, English as second language. And I didn't, I am a transfer student to AIU. I was studying at another university, the regular, system. And I saw a friend that recommended me. I saw a friend on Facebook. I was graduating from AIU, and I was decided, but you just started. How did you finish so fast? And yeah, because I'm dragging at this point where I was, and then he recommended AIU. I joined AIU immediately after I saw, what you offer and the system with the andragogy. I was excited. I was like, yeah, this is where I need to be. And since then, I never looked back, and I joined the program, was able to create my own curriculum, and do my assignments like writings. I was really, really excited about it. So my experience at AIU has been really very good. It helped me get closer as an educator as well, because I'm graduating with a bachelor's degree in education. And my major focus was early childhood education. So I'm really excited with the experience I had. Most of the things I was doing were, was not very strange, but I was glad that I'm able to do it, focus on getting a full degree in education. And it has given me confidence and made me understand my passion for education as relates to the sustainable development goals. I will say that I'm going to be concentrating or focusing on number four for equal quality education. So I believe that with my experience and where I'm from, my background, I live in a developed world, but I'm from a developing country. So I believe I pray that I'll be focusing around educational reformation in Africa, especially. I would not just say my country, because most developing countries, especially in Africa, we need education reformation, where that we can have quality education for any boy or girl in any village and anywhere. And apart from education, studies and degree that I'm acquiring from AIU, I am a certified life coach. So with that, I think I want to blend the both together, giving my pledge for quality education to alleviate poverty as well, from, that we all know, number one goal of the SDG plan here is number one. I'd be referring to number one, no poverty, where we can be able to have, quality education. People can get jobs. They will be able to get jobs, and also relating to gender equality for women, boys and girls, to be able to have quality education. So not because because from where I'm from, Africa, most of the time the focus on the boy's education, thinking he will be the head of the,
right.
family, while leaving the girls to just serve and cook and, you know, clean. So that area, actually, I am passionate about it as a life coach as well, and developing the mindset as well, like Dr. I forgot her name, Dr. BD said about the mindset. You know, poverty can be alleviated by I think number one would be our mindset, because we as the world, we need to change our mindset, the way we treat money, the way we treat the food, the way we treat the land and everything. So the mindset is actually one way. And with the education, as a passionate teacher as I am, I also want to teach. I will be using quality education to teach my students personal development. These are things that traditional education has not taught us and have not. There's nowhere in the world I've ever saw they have personal development on the curriculum. So I was excited because with AIU, I could study any other thing, you know, included in the that I put there. So while I was studying, I went ahead and also studied, you know, did different couple of certification as a life coach, business coach, and all of that. So I want quality education. When we talk about quality education, it should not just be about standard education of getting a degree, but that people in Africa, especially, I would say my country mindset, where people will be able to understand the importance of personal development. That is developing the mindset, wellness, and so many things that comes with life coaching and as an educator. So my experience at AIU, I would say was has been great. And by the way, I've enrolled right away in the master program. I'm doing international relations. I think like my dreams, all of my dreams have just been fulfilled at AIU. The recommendation, clicking on that post the day I found AIU was the best thing that ever happened in my life. So I'm happy to pledge my support for quality education and be a role model to the world as of 2030 goals that we all seek that the world can change. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic, Christine. And first of all, I'd like to say, wow, you have fantastic energy. The energy that you possess at 1 in the morning, 1 a.m. in the morning. My goodness, I can't imagine at 9 in the morning your level of energy. Thank God for you. Your students must be blessed to have you as their teacher.
Thank you.
You know, that's what teachers have to have, this type of energy that you possess in excess. So that's congratulations on finding your purpose. And as far as girls, I mean, my goodness, I cannot imagine a better role model for your community from where you're from originally, for them to get to know you. For you to connect to some girls, just to let them know, hey, look where I am. Look what I've become. Look what I can do as a girl. I think that would just chart a path for them. That is, I mean, sometimes we get challenged by the scope of the difficulty of the task, and we give up. Most people say, oh my God, I can't do anything. And it's depressing. It's a challenge to see all these things around you, but one change is enough. You know, if each month or each year you change the life of one person, if each of us changes the lives of 5 people, and those 5 people help 5 other people, it just takes 11 levels of that, and we will have reached the entire population of the world. That's how powerful that is. And as a teacher and coach, I think that's definitely one avenue that you can have. I mean, you are now a university of one. You have all the fundamentals that you need to succeed and to self-teach. And I just wanted to mention the second life. In other words, right now, all of us graduates, we feel like, hey, we're achieving something, and we are, you know, it's our moment of celebration. But some of us might be 70 years old, some of us might be 40 years old, depending on who you are. You might be reaching what you believe to be is the pinnacle of your life or your career. But I have some news for you. It may be possible to stop aging. It may be possible to live 200 years within our lifetime. So I want all of us to think what we will do with our second life. You know, this started in science fiction. In science fiction, you have stories of people who live, you know, hundreds of years. And what do? They have marriage contracts. Marriage contracts range from 50 years to 100 years, and then you get to switch. Because if you live 500 years, but anyways, that's a different topic. The point is that through CRISPR technology, through biohacking, through Cas9 and other medical advances that we're using artificial intelligence to find vaccines faster than ever before, within our lifetime, I believe we will have someone who right now will live to 200 years. We have the capacity to do it. Epigenetics are us being able to activate our own innate abilities within our genes. And we're just learning to tap into that, whether it be by using your mind or meditation, or through medicine. So all of us, regardless of what your age is, you can start thinking of what you want your second life to be.
Ibrahim, please unmute your microphone.
Ibrahim, welcome.
If Ibrahim is not ready, we have Jamie Andrea Gutierrez.
Yes, good day for everyone.
Okay, Jamie.
Welcome. How are you? Thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you. As you know, my name is Jamie. I'm from Colombia. So it's very grateful to be here and try to increase my professional level and to contribute with the education in my country. So the goal that I would like to share is the 17, the partnership to get the goals. Yes, partnership for the goals. In this moment, I am graduating in supply chain management.
Yes.
So in my thesis and in my research, I work in the logistic performance in Colombia, right? So in this case, this goal is perfect for the country because my contribution will be to get ideas, to get a strategy, to solve some problems that we have in the performance, in the logistic performance, because all of them is very important to poverty, hunger, and all of them is very important. But sometimes, depend of your field, you can contribute in a huge way. In this case, I think my contribution with my country is to try to improve the performance, the logistic performance in the country, and the partnership is to work with different countries. For example, to work with the Latin American countries and try to solve the logistic problems and work together and increase the performance. Because if these countries increase the performance, maybe contribute with my performance, because we try to get the strategies to work in the both ways. So I think that these goals for UNESCO is very important for the humanity, for the human being, to increase the values in their countries, increase the performance, because sometimes we are comfortable with the current numbers, but sometimes the person who works in my field contribute in this way and try to improve the logistic performance. So in this case, this is my field, and I think is good for my country, but I try to do my best effort for that.
Jamie Andrea Gutierrez, congratulations. Thank you very much for sharing that. I think logistics is a super interesting field. I mean, there's so many changes that are happening with, I mean, anything from drone delivery to autonomous driving. And I mean, look what some companies have done where, it used to take 5 days to get your package. Now you can get your package in a couple of hours. I don't know how good that is for the environment, but it is fantastic to have that possibility. But I think those types of industries, like you said, in your industry, you can contribute so much to human development, because I see all these changes that are happening all as opportunities, not as hardships, not as obstacles for humanity. I see it that we can elevate humanity to its true intended purpose. I mean, here I'm sharing kind of, some of these robots competing for human jobs, right? So that's kind of the scary part of all these changes, because if you have autonomous driving, 20% of the jobs are no longer necessary. But those jobs are not going away. They're going to convert to something better, to something more fulfilling, to something better for humanity, a better employment of the human resource. And logistics
help to improve the some things, because the human sometimes is not good to do that, to do
Right.
something, but that technology helps to improve our lives.
Correct. Absolutely. And I see that as part of kind of like the shared economy. I mean, look, I think we're starting to change the concept of what it is to actually own something. I mean, look around you in your room, in your home, in your office, wherever you are. What assets do you have there? Do you have like a digital camera of some kind? Do you have a car parked outside? What are some other major assets in your house that you use 0.01% of the time? And so the idea of the shared economy is that you don't really own anything, you share everything. And so imagine the use of the world's resources if we didn't have so many assets sitting around doing nothing. Your car, you get in your car drives you to your home, to your office or wherever. And it doesn't just stay there for 8 hours, it drives away and picks up other people that need rides. And so it doesn't cost you as much, and the same earth resources are being reused for other purposes. And there's so many platforms like that as far as the shared economy. Airbnb, using real estate instead of being empty, you can use it, decreases the costs. Boundless opportunities, I think, for us. And I did want to touch on Dr. Pierre before. She mentioned something about eliminating a poverty. And I thought that was really interesting, because she said also that it was a state of mind. I think all of us have some level of poverty in some aspect, either it could be knowledge and the way we do something, and we can all address our, some level of poverty and improve it. And as far as being a state of mind, there's a quote by the Dalai Lama that kind of exemplifies this, which is, the key to human happiness lies within our own state of mind. And so too do the primary obstacles to that happiness. So it's really a thing of your perception. The glass half empty, the glass half full. Are you going to be the glass half empty, or are you going to be the glass half full? Do you want to live your life happy, or focusing on the bad? Thank you for sharing that. And that was thank you, Jamie.
Jamie, you're welcome.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Hello.
Ibrahim Salash.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, I look very old, right? I'm 64 years.
Oh, you look very fresh. Very. The camera is fantastic. You look good, my friend.
Yeah, I'm proud to be an AIU member.
Thank you very much. Where are you joining us from?
Yeah, I'm joining you from Palestine.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for me to join AIU for study. Although I am 64 years, but I'm presenting a good example for all people to have this opportunity to study, no matter what age they are. Yeah,
Absolutely. Like we said, look, Methuselah was in Islamic tradition, it was in Judaism, and it was in Christianity. That
sure.
personality of Methuselah, 960 some years, is known. And we got to think of your second life. So our step is 200 years. So
Yeah.
you're a
Regarding
teenager. You're a teenager
regarding
by that
UNESCO
regard.
goals, regarding UNESCO goals, I believe goal number 1 can be achieved very easily by people themselves. Poverty is not born with us. We make it, right? People make poverty, you know. Everyone can think of a small thing to do to fight against poverty and solve this problem for all people. My experience during COVID crisis this year, my neighbor gave me a small piece of land, less than 100 square meters. I planted all vegetables that I need for this summer. So poverty can be achieved, poverty can be deleted from our life if we think together how to deal with this situation, you know. So poverty is something that we create by people themselves. If we think together how we can build small businesses, small farms, and small cooperations, so we can fight poverty. And poverty and the next goal, less hunger, can be achieved together, you know. This is my goal here, and I encourage people, although I am old enough, but for the youngs and for everyone, fight poverty by your effort, by finding anything that you can do to help others. Like my neighbor helped me to plant vegetables, I can help others and join experience with them.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Yes, I mean, I think it's going back to the mode of what you're thinking. Are you in the mode of to have or in the mode to be? And I think your neighbor in sharing that plot of land with you was in the to be, and to making justice to that plot of land to make it useful.
Yeah, there are many empty lands owned by rich people. Rich people can share poor people to achieve or to overcome their poverty matter.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah,
Ibrahim.
you're welcome. You're welcome. I wish happiness for all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Bruce Phillips, please unmute your microphone.
Okay. I think in keeping with the times that we're in, I should put this on.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a shame, Bruce.
Yeah.
It's a shame that some of our leaders in the world, we have presidents that are not doing the basic example of putting on a mask, of holding social distancing. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that our leaders are failing in showing this example. I mean, that's a human right. I think other humans have a right to live in health and to live their lives. And the simplest thing you can do now is to put on a mask. It's not much effort to do so. And if everybody did that, we would eradicate COVID-19 faster than we are. But anyways, please, Bruce, sorry to interrupt.
Okay, who am I? Well, to the previous speaker, I have to say you're not the oldest here. I'm 67. Graduating with my M. I've studied at a number of universities so far. I've taught in 3 countries. Well, should I say I've been headmaster or principal or director of schools in 3 countries in my life. So I know a couple of you around here. Namibia, my colleague in Namibia, I taught there for 9.5 years. Nice to see you. Who am I? Well, I am who I have been becoming Whether I'm the sum of those parts or part of that sum is a debate I would still have. I've taught in Chile, so yo hablo como poquito castellano también as well. Hi, Jose. Nice to see you. And a number of the others who I gather are very Spanish speaking. I suppose in terms of the UNESCO system, I would be part of number 4, 10, and 16 mostly in my life. And where am I going with that? Well, certainly I'm continuing with my studies at AIU and hope to be able to focus on these things, do my doctorate. I'm continuing now with the doctorate straight after the M. So I hope to get there in a year or two. And yeah, my life is filled with many different things. And you've mentioned that we could live to 200 plus. Yes, I've spoken to young people before and said to them they need to be careful about how they do things because they might still be suffering from what they start with in 200 years' time. And that's an interesting thought as well. But I'd like to stop there. I don't think I need to say much more about myself. But my colleague over here, Ilana, who's also finishing her M, and she's also studying her doctorate at the same time. Let me give her a chance to say something.
Congratulations, Ilana, and welcome. I think you guys, everybody in AIU that makes this possible today is not on camera because Bruce, Elena, I think you support each other. Everyone at AIU that's here today has key people who have made this dream today a reality. It would not have been possible without the support of those key persons. And so thank you for supporting each other and for all those that made everyone here possible. Please, Elena.
Evening, everybody. I'm Milana and I'm greeting you. It's now 7:30 here in South Africa. So we're in the midst of our winter and COVID has found Africa, unfortunately. So we're right in the middle of that. And with regard to our, Bruce and I, as you've heard, we finished our masters and we're continuing with our doctorates now. We're very excited. At this late stage in life, I'm not as old as he is though, but in this late stage of life, to continue with the studies and we're thankful to AIU for affording us this opportunity. Absolutely. Educationally, my focus is basically on the UNESCO goal number 4, which is education. And to that, I have started an independent school about 13 years ago. Because of quality education, which I felt when my children were still in primary school, I said that the government system in South Africa was not really supplying what I wanted for our children or for my children at that stage, and started an independent school and have ever since. All 3 of them have graduated with their matrics and they've studied and gone on. My eldest is also a teacher now. So somewhere there's something in the blood, I guess, but we are very fortunate and we work daily to better the lives of the students around us and to ensure that our children get equal opportunities. To that effect, we are sponsoring 10% of our children from less fortunate backgrounds to be able to attend an independent school such as ours that we have. So we're very fortunate and we're very blessed in that to be able to sow into the lives and give a little bit back to the ones around us and ensuring that they have opportunities that otherwise they might not be able to have. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Elena Erasmus. Congratulations on all your initiatives and your contributions. I agree with you 100%. Your area of education, I think, is vital. Education, I think, is a key to elimination of poverty, towards bringing hope, towards equalizing, having everyone on an equal footing. And your experience in South Africa, where you found that the system of education was substandard or not adequate, So it's amazing that you were able to take the initiative to improve on that.
Marta Mutonono. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. My name is Martha Mutonono. I am from Zimbabwe. So it's
welcome,
good
Martha.
to
It's great to see you.
Thank you. So Dr. Pina, Namibia, Bruce and Elena, South Africa, and there was somebody from Zambia. That was so cool. I'm from Southern Africa, but I'm currently in the US at the moment, and I miss home. I miss Africa. I miss Africa so much. Because of Corona, couldn't go home this year, but I'm so thankful that AIU, firstly, congratulations to everybody for what you have achieved. And I'm thankful to the Lord for the opportunity that I got.
The hard work for your hometown.
Yeah, the opportunity I got to study through AIU. I did a master's in business administration. The work that I have been doing basically has been to run transformational leadership seminars. And these transformational leadership seminars would be are held for people who are basically in the top leadership levels, whether it's in government or in the churches or in the communities. So that is the focus. The reason why I'm saying was is because I'm currently in the US and I have not been doing that. But it's something that I'm hoping that even while I am here, it's something that I would like to continue to do and continue working with leaders in Zimbabwe. So right now my life is I'm like in a transition. So I'm kind of like a confused cockroach because I don't know if I'm coming or going, but I'm trusting that I will get my bearings and I will continue to work on what I was working on before, because it brings a lot of fulfillment. So in terms of the UNESCO goals, I think I would link with the goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities, because basically through the transformational leadership programs that we offer, it's to transform the individual in order for them to own the community or society that they are in. So I have had the privilege of interacting and mentoring people at different levels, and the quality of education that I got from AIU. What I liked and what I have enjoyed the most was to develop the curriculum, to learn the things that I want to learn, the things that I apply in the work that I do, as well as the affordability that, the education is affordable. I'm in a family where my husband is he's got a doctorate, he's working on a PhD, which he's finished, he's done his dissertation, he's doing another PhD. I have a daughter who is 27 and she's just completed 2 masters.
Congratulations, Martha.
I've got a son who is doing his bachelor's degree program. So when I'm looking at the people even around me in my own family, education is what they are about. So AIU has provided that opportunity for me. And looking at Bruce and Dr. Pina there, I thought I would stop. But I think, thank you for encouraging me. I think I would like to, I'll be contacting the office to say, how can I proceed further? So I'm thankful to be a part of what is going on. And maybe to also give you a brief background, I finished the studies at AIU many, many years ago, but I never got the opportunity to graduate. But AIU, because of who they are, they keep encouraging me to finish what I started. So what was left was just the graduation, because I finished on time. I started in 2011.
Wow.
And I finished in 2013, but I didn't graduate. And they said, you need to graduate. That's why I'm here today. So I'm thankful for that opportunity, that they did not give up on me. They want me to finish what I started.
Thank you, Marta. Thank you for sharing your experience, your journey, and the work you do in transformational leadership. It's amazing to hear from you and your story. It's inspirational, and keep on with the mission, and keep working towards that. Thank you so much. Like you said, Bruce and Elena are continuing on, and so that motivated you to say, "Hey, let's keep going." And this is just the beginning. I think it can be the beginning of something new, your graduation from AIU. So I wanted to, let's see, David Siddiqui, and also Jose Millet. I know, Jose, you raised your hand a couple times, so we'll go back to you, because I think there's something else, Jose, you wanted to share with us. But go ahead, David.
David. Hello, everyone. I am David Siddiqui Ambasu.
Hi, David.
I'm the second person calling from Sierra Leone. I'm proud that Sierra Leone seems to be attracted now to AIU, and I wonder why. I would imagine that as a senior citizen, I thought I was one of those old ones studying. Now, can you imagine at 55 and somebody's 67? So it tells me you've got more time to live. So it's interesting. I found studying in AIU quite interesting, because I've studied in Sierra Leone, I've studied in UK, but it's all been very traditional, sitting in the classroom, following a pre-planned, a pre-designed curriculum, following the screening pattern, the assessment pattern, where the lecturer would have pre-designed the seminars, the question papers, and mark them as it is. But now here I was asked to design my own curriculum. I was asked to determine my own pace. I was asked to determine what I was learning and when I want to learn and how long I wanted to learn what I wanted to learn. And specifically, I wanted to learn what was very user-friendly would build my capacity. So what did I do? In my PhD thesis, I looked at civil society, because working in Africa, especially as a civil society activist, looking at how you can lobby to influence state policies can be quite challenging, because we find the draconian policies, we find very restrictive and narrow civic space. But what we find very interesting in the job that I do is that a lot more of us working in the civil society field are really not prepared capacity-wise to engage policymakers, to engage and compete with other people who are in the civil society world. Now we have the international donors, our international NGOs, who are primarily, in a way, competing with local organizations. So what is happening at the moment in Sierra Leone and across most of the countries is that these national organizations are primarily not succeeding. Their projects fail. They don't have resources. There are no systems within these national organizations. If there are, they need to be revisited. So referring to UNESCO goals, I see myself quite assigned to that of goal 16, which is looking for peace, justice, and strong institutions. Because our colleagues in the civil society world basically cannot survive the competition, especially where we still have very strong remaining international organizations, and where policies are quite strong, ranging from registration to governance. The blueprint tells you you have to have this minimum grant per annum. And those who are in the field, those who are really on the front lines, cannot meet those high level standards. So my job, what I do in Caritas Sierra Leone in Bo, is to see how we can help build the capacity of this upcoming CSO. So my program in AIU has been very strategic in building my capacity to continue the work that I will do as a learning organization to support young organizations. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all my colleagues.
Thank you so much, David, for sharing that. And, that makes us so happy. I'm not the only one watching this. The staff, the faculty are seeing this, and it just brings happiness to us, seeing all the success that you're having as a student, the relevance of your studies, that you were able to do exactly what you needed to do, what was going to help you with your professional work, with what you're doing within your country to improve those things. And it makes us very happy. It's very fulfilling for us to learn that this system of education is working and solving things for so many students around the world. Jose Mijet, you raised your hand a couple times before. Was there something you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I want to share what I'm doing and why I decided to study
a
master's degree. As I mentioned, I'm a lawyer based in Mexico. I was knowing a lot of people, and I want to continue helping others. And I start a project based or called Solar Labs. This is where sea containers are transformed as a school for kids. And
fantastic.
You take it to places where there is no light or even access to education. And this is related to point number 4, quality education, and 7 as energy or sustainable energy.
Because these are canisters, these are containers from shipping containers, if I understand. And they have solar panels, they have maybe a battery, they basically bring a modern classroom to anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's right. And I engage with a company or a nonprofit organization that it's called Computer Aid. And I was like making myself the question how I can get better on a business analysis or understanding how to create business models to help more people. And it's when I knew about AIU. My mother also studied her master in AIU. So I engaged with AIU. I start my master degree. And now I can tell you that all the tools that I have learned are really fantastic for these projects. And we have now 3 solar labs in Latin America. One is in Mexico, 2 are in Mexico, sorry, and 1 is in Colombia. And we are teaching kids how to code and make robotics as a coding experience. And they learn science and technology for future development of careers. So I want to share this with all of you. I know that this project is also in a lot of parts in Africa, but I'm really proud to share that I'm trying to change and to contribute with this small grain of effort towards making a better world.
Wow, thank you, Jose Mijet Garcia. I would just like to say, wow, I mean, you went from being a lawyer to being a philanthropist to being an engineer to being a teacher. So you epitomize andragogic learning. You've learned and reinvented yourself as you saw fit, and taking new opportunity. And I think one important thing you mentioned, these Solar Lab initiative, the Solar Lab, I think whether it's funds through nonprofits or whether it's a sustainable business model, I think the key is that it becomes sustainable, because obviously the funding can come, but it always runs out. And so the key is to find something that is self-sustainable so that it can really be scaled out. And so if hopefully with the Solar Labs, you can find some way where it can scale itself out or pay for itself, or obviously just using the containers and the solar panels and things like that lowers the cost dramatically of bringing that technology anywhere. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Tony Belisari.
Hey, congratulations to all, and also want to thank my family for all the support on this process.
Thank you very much.
Sony Belisari.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Sony Belisari, Welcome, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm Sonny Belizer in French. So I'm from Haiti. It's a pleasure for me to be and take part of this symposium, and I'm so proud to be a member of AIU. I think this is an opportunity that should be communicated to all development countries, because in the development country, it's so hard to find quality educations with it's not very expensive. When we talk about high quality educations, some people think that's something that can be very expensive, and it is expensive, as you can see in America. So when a person from a development country has this opportunity to get a high quality education with less expense, without expense all the budget of the family on one time. So it's a kind of gift for us. So I want to talk more about also what really I do with I learn from AIU. So I work in NGO as an ICT manager. My work is to design systems for project. So generally I work with partners. So what the goals of this kind of work? We work with partners. By example, it can be private sector, it can be government, in order to build a system that can give access to the information to people. For example, I remember I work with the Minister of Social Affairs to build a system that allows people to get access about information related to social services. And this kind of information was be collected in all the country, around the country. In Haiti, we have 10 departments. We collect this information on all 10 departments and make this information live for anybody who needs information about social services. And the partnership we build with Minister of Social Affairs allow people to be able anytime if they want, and if they are in need of, by example, psychological services or health services, they can go to the website and get the information rapidly next to his locations. So that's something that for me is very important when people, it's related to the goal of 17's partnership for the goals, where we can, where 2 or 3 organizations or with the government, we can build something that can be very useful for the community. So as you can know, information is a power. So when the community can get access to the information, we give the community the ability to improve their situations. And also, if information is a power and everybody can get access to this power, so we can also at the same time with the goals then reduce inequality related to information. So we also have some partnership with agricultural minister where we help farmers, okay, to through a database to share information about all their products. So the availability of their products. So if a farmer has, by example, soys or rice or beans ready to sell, so anybody can go through the platform, has these informations and give the ability for the farmers to sell these products anywhere they can be in the country. That's some kind of things that I think it could be very useful when we can really increase an environment and create an environment where people can really get connected and produce something for the community,
Yes,
where
because
they
like
can really use them themselves.
Like you're describing, Sony, I mean, it could be a farmer that makes a trip to the nearby city and he finds out that the city is not paying for his produce at the moment, or it's very low price. And if he had gone to the other city, they had a much better price. And so if he had had that information before, it would have saved him the trip.
Of course, and he knows exactly who can get his product in a better price. So in a way, that encouraged also the farmer to produce. So he knows that he won't produce for nothing. He have the ability to sell what he produces. It's kind of an incentive ways to help them to make more products. So as we know, if a country or in a development country, if the product, so it's impossible of the populations. So production is the best way to hope for to grow the community of a country. So I think this is a kind of activities can encourage in every development country where we need progress, when we need growth in our economy. And through what I learned from AIU, the major was Relation International, and I also have been used to get some CDYs to travel to Africa. I visit Congo, Madagascar, Nigeria to work with partners. And one of the things that I have been used to effort is, how can I understand when we deal with different countries and with different culture and different style of economy? So this kind of thing that can be very difficult to design a system. And I think through the Relation International course, I get the information that I need to understand people, to understand the culture, to understand how to interact with a person different of me, and find exactly what the needs is and how can I build a solution for these needs. This is the thing that that helped me so much in my job, and I'm very thankful for AIU for giving me this opportunity to reach this kind of informations. And I don't have no words to express my gratitude to AIU about exactly what I earned from taking part of these programs. And I thank AIU staff also for the way they assist us. It's like a mother to a child. So anytime you need a support, you call or you write an mail, automatically you get an answer. It's kind of thing we can't find anywhere. It's not easy to find it everywhere. So, and I think in AI, that's something that it's like a star, or it's like something that I think everyone has experienced it in the IO programs, and I'm very thankful about that, and I'm very happy to be one of us.
Thank you so much, Sony. Thank you for sharing that. And I mean, you're an inspiration to us. Hearing your words of appreciation, seeing your family in the background, seeing your motivation. Obviously, they are your motivation. They're your reason for being. And we're so happy to see you, to see them, and to hear of your journey. We have a team here at AIU of tutors. There's a whole team of tutors that are there to help motivate you, to help get you through the difficult parts, to encourage you. You have your academic advisors, but the real central actor in AIU is you, the student. You are really the central actor. You're the one that really makes everything possible. And that's why this system is sustainable, and why I think it's more sustainable than the traditional system. You mentioned affordability, and I think, you know, just like Jose Mijet and several other members of the group here, you've had to transform your lives But imagine if you had to go back to regular college every single time. And so here I think we're just freeing everyone's mind to understand that it's really within yourself to teach yourself anything you want. To have the confidence, the ability, the know-how, the experience of developing something yourself, following through, and having the tools, the basic tools and the access of the tools to, either research materials in the online library or webinars or instructors who can help. So thank you so much for sharing that. I also I read some of the comments about the COVID-19 here in the chat. And why we should wear the masks and so on. And I just wanted to share this slide because of the pandemic. We've put so much emphasis on the pandemic, which is super important. Everybody has to wear their masks and do what has to be done. But imagine if we put a fraction of the effort that we're putting towards COVID-19 towards some of the greatest causes of death that exist in humanity. COVID-19 is about it's going to probably be maybe 5 years of the flu deaths. In other words, in the United States, approximately 90,000 people every day die from the regular flu. COVID-19 is probably going to end up being 200 or more thousand deaths, unfortunately. But you're talking about that it's like a flu. And the difference is that it's affecting also younger people. But if you look at the deaths that are caused, mainly they're heart disease, cancer, respiratory diseases, diabetes. Everything on the left is many orders of magnitude more than COVID-19. Are we doing the same effort? If we're going through the effort of putting on a mask and doing all these things and social distancing, imagine if we put a fraction of that effort towards our own health in these aspects. We could live much healthier lives. Anyways, I thought that was an interesting point to share with you guys. I see Menard and Ribidi. Menard, MP from Rwanda.
Yes, my name is Merard Mhabgana Maguru.
Welcome, Merard.
Yes. I'm from Rwanda. I have recently completed my PhD in urban planning and design at AIU.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you so very much for this conference. And I was really very happy to attend. So, in fact, one of the key factors for achieving sustainable development, especially in developing countries like Rwanda, is to have enough educated and well-trained human resource. That is why even our country, Rwanda is a country that is located in Africa, in the central eastern part of Africa. It's a member of ARC, East African Community.
Yes.
That's why the country of Rwanda promotes also education of its citizens as the main investment through human capital and institutional capacity building. In fact, Rwanda is a densely populated developing country that has generated various weaknesses in urban structure and the infrastructure system, which have been illogical comprehension planning and zoning, traffic jams in the cities.
Was there anything, Bernard, that motivated you to do urban planning and design? Was there any particular situation you lived through that encouraged you to study that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the one that attracted me to go into deep in urban planning and design.
Yes, what you witness around you.
Yeah, those weaknesses around us. I was saying they include comprehension planning, zoning, traffic jams, downgrading of urban roads, increasing of individual and public vehicles in the cities, poor water drainage, in fact, and environmental pollution. In fact, those are the things that have attracted me to go into deep in urban planning and design. Because urbanization is a global phenomenon with a direct impact on the future of our societies. Most of the key challenges are in general for contemporary societies are encountered and addressed in the cities. You know that we are talking about SDGs goals, and the 11th goal aims at making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable in order to achieve the 10 targets that have been established by UNESCO. In fact, at AIU, through various academic works that I've conducted together with my very courageous academic advisor, Franklin Valsin, I have acquired general and special and professional knowledge and skills in urban design, planning, management, and development. It has even led me to thinking big on how the cities can be sustainable. And I saw that, I have seen that making city planning participatory by considering much more the landowners, which are the citizens, taking their views, incorporating in the master plans, they feel better also in implementing the plans because the landowners are the ones that implement. So this has also led me to doing my research, my thesis on citizen participation in urban planning. I would really like to thank AIU for having enabled me to get that knowledge. And I have really learned and improved on self-research and how to work on research engineering and business documents.
Thank you, Merard.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Merard.
So,
as you were mentioning the city planning, I'm bringing up something related to that. So yes, go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to show you something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was
go ahead,
just going to. I was also going to tell you that it is undoubtedly sure that the experience got through academic works at AIU will enhance my ability to excel in my current and future duties upholding the 49th United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Thank you so much, Merard, and thank you for sharing all that. And you mentioned smart cities and urban planning, and this is kind of the future that you're in. You know, our cities are being transformed. Oh, let me see. Okay, there we go. So there's many different segments that are growing with the Internet of Things and AI. Everything from wearables to smart home to the smart city, you know, smart energy grids, microgrids where you can share the energy with your neighbor, collect renewable energy yourself. It's decentralizing the distribution of energy. Smart industry, all of this is possible with new technologies that are emerging, and we can all participate in those. Here are some future technologies. Some of these are the current and others are the future. I mean, in Japan, you have a very elderly population, skewed towards the older, and they have robots that are taking care of the elderly at home. In the European Union, you have robots who are taking manufacturing jobs, and they are charging robots taxes as if they were human beings for lost revenue. And lastly, you have robotic surgeons that can go into your brain or delicate organs and intricately repair blood vessels that even a surgeon wouldn't be able to do. So indeed, an exciting world that we live in. And thank you very much for sharing. There was one gentleman who raised his hand earlier. Where B? Where is he?
B.
Bidby?
To me. Jose.
I think we lost Bidby. He had his hand raised, but we'll go to the next. Go ahead, Jose.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to me to be part of AIU. My name is Jose Filomeno da Fonseca. I'm from Angola, but currently in South Africa, where I work.
Welcome.
For the past 11 years, I've been in the diplomatic field, and that's why I'm graduating as a doctor in political science. So studying at AIU was a very exciting experience to me. First of all, I saw it as like something very strange because I was expecting to find a program and to be given a program for me for the study, but I was given the opportunity to write my own curriculum design, and it for me was like, oh, I came as a student, but they're behaving as if I was a professor, but yeah, it was a very, 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 very strange, but at the same time exciting experience. Okay, I'm 55 years old, I'm married. And as I said, I'm graduating as a doctor in political science. So based on what we are discussing now, I will say that because I'm from Africa, as I say, I'm an African and I know how Africa operates. And that's why in terms of the goals, I will go for the 16th goal, the goal 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institution, because I think without strong institution, it will not be possible for us to attain the 2030 goals. We are living because from my perspective, the problem, there are so many challenges for the attainment of these goals, among which we find financial and other challenges. But for me, the most challenging element is the political will.
Yes.
That's why I'll speak that's why I'm trying to approach this subject from the political perspective, because I think if we don't have, mainly here in Africa and the other less developing countries, if we don't have strong institutions really committed to developing to the goals, we'll never get there. You know, as we all know, and most of this information are public. If we read, we go and look at the budget of most of the African countries, we'll see that the amount allocated for the education is very significant. So for us, of course, education is key, but without political will, we'll never get there. So then, on completing this course, or after completing, I think what I'm expecting to do is to act as somebody will help governments or political leaders to understand the need for them to invest toward the achievement of this goal by providing advice, writing articles and the books towards the need for us to have strong people-centered institution in our country.
Excellent.
So we really achieve this goal. Otherwise, because and that was one of the a topic of my thesis was the need for us to change from state center to the nation-centered approach, people-centered approach to nation-state building. What we are observing currently is that most of African countries, even though people speak on behalf of the people, but of the population, let's say, that the citizen, we see that the citizen, they don't have really a say in most of the programs toward developing their countries. And this is because of what, in part of the low level of education. But we go back to my first point, saying that for us to have a good education in Africa and around the world, we need political will. So that was we need to have a strong institution managed by leaders who are really politically motivated to promote development, educational development of their population. So once again, I want to thank you for this opportunity. As you can understand, I'm trying to do all my best to speak in English. This is not my language, but I think you got the message. So thank you.
Oh,
very
absolutely.
much.
Absolutely. No, very clear message. Thank you, Josefi Filameno. And I think without institutions, strong institutions, without us participating and being involved in the institutions, it will not be possible. We have to have people who are responsible, who have the right mindset to lead our institutions. And let me go real quick to Ricardo Taylor, because we're kind of, thank you everybody for being with us the entire time. For those of you who have been here from the beginning, thank you very much for sticking around. Before we go to you, Ricardo, I did want, if we could, to unmute everyone. I think we can unmute everyone, unmute your mics. I would like if we can all raise our right hand to take the AIU pledge. So if we are all ready, thank you, Aristela Urieta. So if we can all raise our right hand and say, I agree to the AIU pledge.
I agree to the AIU pledge
To uphold human rights.
To uphold human rights.
The AIU pledge.
And help
to uphold human rights.
AIU pledge.
To uphold the AIU pledge.
To uphold the AIU pledge.
To uphold the AIU pledge. To uphold AIU pledge.
Contribute to the UNESCO 2030 goals in a sustainable way at every opportunity.
Contribute to the UNESCO goal
and any opportunity.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your participation. And we're gonna do one more. Ricardo Taylor, don't go yet. But I did want to say a couple of things, which are in the graduation coming up on Tuesday. We will have, after the event, some groups, like virtual rooms, where we can jump in, collaborate, congratulate each other, meet the families. If the families are celebrating, if you want to put on your cap and gown, please do so. The graduation ceremony is going to be fantastic. It's virtual. It's our first ever virtual ceremony. I think it took too long to do a virtual ceremony. But hey, COVID-19 is helping us in some ways. We have to make the best of it. Stay safe, but make the best of it. And I can't wait for you guys to see yourselves there, to see what we've put together for you, and to keep on with the tradition of AIU. Our lives have not stopped, and neither did your studies. You didn't allow your studies to stop, and neither your graduation. So thank you very much, and let's finish with Ricardo Taylor.
Well, thank you, Ricardo. I am Ricardo Taylor. I am from the Bahamas, and it is and was a pleasure making this journey with AIU I took the journey because I found that AIU has the open curriculum, is flexible and affordable. My studies were centered on, my dissertation was non-government organizations in the Bahamas. I completed that and I contribute toward the UNESCO goals. Will present that to the Department of Gender and Family Affairs, which is in the Ministry of Social Services. And I hope that the government will be used that to identify some of the areas of challenges that I found and also some of the gaps that I found within the distribution of social assistance throughout the country. So I'm hoping that that is positive for the government. I also want to one day begin an NGO, and I'm looking to get some support with that. And hopefully I too can join the effort to reduce poverty, hunger, and provide quality education as I serve as an adjunct at the University of the Bahamas.
Fantastic.
Thanks, AIU. Thanks especially to Liliana, to Dr. Valson, Dr. Lambert, and Dr. Jack. It was a beautiful
Thank you so
journey.
much, Ricardo Taylor, and congratulations on your future NGO and your plan and your mission for your NGO. Share it with us if we can support you with some ideas or letters or a mentor. Let us know, and we would love to pair you up with a mentor who can help, who has experience in NGOs and can maybe give you some tips or some ideas to make it a success.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Ibrahim?
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I would like to thank Dr. Edward Lambert for his encouragement all over my study, Dr. Valsin and Liliana for their support all the time.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. I think almost everyone who wanted to participate has participated, so this Congress to me is a success. And I thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you this coming Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you too.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you.
Excuse me. There's no the information.
Bye. Greetings from Rwanda.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, greetings from Tanzania.
You need information on the graduation?
Yes, the graduation, because the
Yes.
time difference. That's why I'm trying. I didn't get any information on the time.
Okay, I can post that right here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
1 second. I think I have that. Let me see.
With your permission, I would like to say something to Ibrahim.
Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome.
Ibrahim, this is Dr. Yael Yarimi, and we're neighbor in nature. I'm from Israel, and I want to say thank you so much for bringing that issue of once you don't have the poverty and we have education, then people are able to live. Actually, I drew from that people can be very peaceful and less problems can happen. And I'm so excited to see you, Ibrahim.
Okay, okay. In the
Normally
future.
we wouldn't be able to talk, but here we are. This is amazing.
What a marvelous opportunity. Thank you very much. Yes, amazing. We are building bridges and healing hundreds of years, or I don't know how many years of problems.
Yes, thousands of years.
Yeah, people can make peace together.
Absolutely.
Sure. And you're very right about education. That's the tube to peace. Education.
Yes, sure. We can live together peacefully and in good happiness.
Of course, I'm your friend right here. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks to me. We are AIU members.
Thank you so much, everyone. Fantastic. Wonderful way to close. Thank you.
Thank you for this great opportunity. Thank you so much. We appreciate so much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much, Peter, for participating, and see you on Tuesday. I posted the link to the virtual ceremony. I think there we have the times, and if not, yeah, 3 days, 19 hours, 48 minutes. Let me share it on the screen, actually, since I have it here.
And we can take a picture of it.
Yeah, I posted the link on the chat also.
Oh, okay, here we go.
You have
Take
the chat there.
Quick. Here you go.
Wow.
Perfect. Thank
And
you.
it'll be on YouTube as well. If you miss the connection here, it'll be on YouTube. But here you will be able to chat with each other.
I have a quick question. Is there
Yes,
any
yeah.
way we can do, once this whole madness is over, is there any way we're going to do the actual graduation? Will we be able to participate in an actual graduation?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if you miss the opportunity to be in a real graduation and you want to come here, it's, I mean, we would love to have you here. We do plan to return to normal ceremonies. We usually have 2 per year. All of our graduates are invited. I mean, you may have already graduated, but if you want to participate in the physical ceremony, we would be more than happy to have you, whether it's in spring, fall of next year, or in 2022, whenever it's possible, we will be back.
Good. It just
we are glad to hear that.
That's
fantastic.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.